All right, so Greg, tell us a little bit about salt and the importance of salt in our diet. I know that there's a lot of misinformation out there about salt, especially with high blood pressure
Right.
and those kind of things. Are all salts created equal, and what is important for everyone to know about salt?
Good question. Most salt do create, and when we talk about salt in America, we generally refer to purified salts, even sea salts. But everything called sea salt is not sea salt. There really is a patented process that extracts actual sea salt from the ocean, and it actually has the highest mineral count of any salts. So salt, as we know, generally does cause high blood pressure. It deteriorates kidney function, causes swelling and edema. And all the things that we have learned from doctors or other research that normal salt does wrong, Celtic sea salt or Celtic sea salt does quite the opposite. So Celtic sea salt regenerates the kidney. It increases blood flow. It regulates the alkaline levels in the blood. I use it to regulate blood pressure. So people with a low blood pressure or people with high blood pressure taking Celtic sea salt, it does neither up or down. It actually regulates and normalizes the pressure of the blood. So, and it also eliminates swelling. So everything that we have learned to associate with purified salts or even sea salt is the opposite with Celtic sea salt. Now the other sea salts that we name sea salts are still landmine salts. Salts that are most common in health food stores like the Himalayan sea salt. Last I checked, the ocean was not in the Himalayas for a long time.
Very true.
Yeah.
So salt is very important then to keep the body in balance.
Correct.
And the cells.
Yeah, and so actual hydration of the human body, really, we always think if somebody says you're dehydrated, you try to drink more water. But water without Celtic sea salt does very little. Once a cell, our human cells are fat soluble. So water can only pass through a very narrow passage. And so literally water cannot enter a collapsed cell that's dehydrated. What can enter is the Celtic sea salt, and it literally pumps the fluids back into the cells. So if you're only drinking to rehydrate yourself, you're missing the boat because the water is just passing right through the body and not rehydrating our cells. It's amazing how much benefit to our skin, our wrinkles, eliminating wrinkles, and hydrating our discs and our joints happens with Celtic sea salt.
So then the next logical question is how much is the right amount of salt or Celtic sea salt that a person would want to consume?
Yeah, and the rule of thumb, and it really is just a rule of thumb, you do Celtic sea salt to your comfort level, but literally there is no maximum. All of us do not enough, okay? But the rule of thumb is approximately for a 150-pound adult, it would be about a tablespoon of Celtic sea salt per day. That's if you're indoors. If you're outdoors, if you're working outdoors and sweating, you may need to do 2 tablespoons per day, which is more than the average. I get a lot of, really? Out of that, you know.
Very true. Good to know though, because it's important, especially we talk about hydration, and the common go-to are the sports drinks.
Right.
With sporting events, and especially for our kids, is they're using all of these chemical-laden high fructose corn syrup drinks, and the reality is water with salt is probably the best thing they could be.
Just water with a touch of Celtic sea salt throughout the day is probably the best sports drink you can have.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Fantastic information.